Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for Saturday, October 18, 2025. And in the news this evening, 20-year-old charged with murder in Kingston. A 20-year-old construction worker is facing multiple charges, including murder, after the shooting death of a kitchen assistant in May. Police charged Ramanda Simpson, otherwise called the Prince, a construction worker of Regent Street, Denhamtown, Kingston 14, for murder, possession of a prohibited weapon and ammunition, and using a firearm to commit a felony following an incident in Coburn Gardens, Kingston 11, on Sunday, May 25. Dead is 22-year-old Judas Clark, otherwise known as Froggy, a kitchen assistant at Mapleview Road in Coburn Gardens, Kingston 11. Reports are that about 7 p.m., Clark was sitting outside his home when he was allegedly approached by Simpson, who was armed with a handgun. Simpson then opened fire, hitting Clark before escaping on a waiting motorcycle, police say. The police were summoned and Clark was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Simpson was arrested and subsequently charged on Friday after a question and answer session conducted in the presence of his attorney. Woman charged in connection with the shooting death of 14-year-old girl. A 25-year-old woman has been charged with accessory before the fact and accessory after the fact to murder following the killing of a 14-year-old girl in April. The woman has been identified as Daniela Morrison, a contractor of Waltham Park Road. She is charged in connection with the brutal murder of Terona Thomas, otherwise called TT, a student of Cinnamon Crescent in Kingston 11, on Thursday, April 17. Reports from the Olympic Gardens police are that Morrison and a man rented a silver Nissan Note motor car, allegedly to carry out the fatal attack. That afternoon, about 1:50 p.m., an armed man allegedly traveled to Hill Avenue in Kingston 11, where he opened fire on a group of people, hitting Thomas and the two others before escaping. The police were summoned and the injured persons were assisted to the hospital, where Thomas was pronounced dead. The other men were admitted for treatment. Following the incident, Morrison allegedly retrieved the car from the man and returned it. She was later formally charged following a case review. Prime Minister Andrew Holness had offered a $2 million reward for information leading to the arrest and the charge of Terona's killer. The St. Andrew South Police Division says it is pursuing other suspects connected to the incident and is again appealing to anyone with information that can assist in investigating this or any crime committed within the St. Andrew South Police Division to contact the Hunts Bay Police CIB at 876-923-7111, Crime Stop at 311, the Police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. Man charged after alleged attempted bribery of cops. A 28-year-old man is facing charges after allegedly attempting to bribe a policeman on Friday. Michael Jones of Haining Crescent, Kingston 5, has been charged with breaches of the Anti-Corruption Act. Reports are that about 11:40 a.m., lawmen were conducting a national coordinated roadblock operation when Jones, who was driving a Toyota Axia motor car, was seen not wearing a seat belt. He was signaled to stop, and during routine checks, Jones was unable to produce a driver's license. It is alleged that while the police were in the process of preparing traffic tickets, Jones went to his vehicle and returned with an envelope containing money, which he allegedly offered to the lawman. Jones was immediately taken into custody and later charged following an interview. The police are reminding members of the public that attempting to bribe a member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force is a serious criminal offense and will be met with the full force of the law. Businessman accused of failing to deliver vehicles to buyers. A 44-year-old businessman has been charged after allegedly failing to hand over vehicles he was paid by customers to provide. Lloyd Thompson, a businessman of Balmetto East Fort in St. Catherine, was charged with fraudulent conversion in relation to a series of incidents in the parish between April and August 2023. Reports from the Discovery Bay Police are that 2 men paid deposits to Thompson for motor vehicles between April and August of 2023. One complainant paid $2.4 million for a Toyota Coaster, while the other paid $1 million as a deposit for a Toyota Hiace bus. It is alleged that after making payments, both men tried to contact Thompson to finalize the transactions, but he began avoiding their calls. Allegedly, he later gave the men an explanation which aroused their suspicions, leading them to make a report to the police. Thompson was later taken into custody in connection with similar reports made within the Kingston police area. An identification parade was conducted, during which both the complainants positively identified him. He was formally charged on Friday. His court date is being finalized. St. Anne Higler charged with murder. A St. Anne Higler has been charged with murder following the stabbing death of a man in his community on October 7. He is 37-year-old Junior Campbell, otherwise called Alka or Blacka, of Clemstead in Limehall, St. Anne. He is accused of fatally stabbing 38-year-old caretaker Roy Aniki. The St. Anne's Bay Police say about 7:30 p.m., residents heard Aniki and Campbell fighting inside their home. Shortly after, Aniki called out for help and the police were summoned. On their arrival, Aniki's body was seen lying face down in a pool of blood with multiple stab wounds. The scene was processed and the body was later removed to the morgue pending a post-mortem examination. Campbell was apprehended and taken into custody on October 9. After an investigation, lawmen formally charged him on Friday. His court date is being finalized. After gun battle. One of 2 suspects who allegedly fired at the St. Catherine police after they were intercepted in a stolen vehicle is now in custody while the other is being sought. The police say about 9:40 a.m. Friday, police personnel attached to the Guys Hill police station in St. Catherine were on patrol when they received reports that a Toyota Voxy motor truck, which was stolen from its owner in Three Hills, St. Mary, was seen in Guys Hill. The police went in pursuit of the vehicle in an area called Cocking Hill. However, the driver reportedly sped off while the passenger brandished a gun and fired at the police. The vehicle was pursued into the neighboring Castle Kelly district in St. Anne, where the vehicle stopped near an open lot, and the 2 men allegedly alighted and again fired at the police. The police reportedly took evasive action and returned the fire. During the exchange, 1 man escaped and the other was held. The stolen vehicle was processed and is in the possession of the police. The Independent Commission of Investigations has launched a probe into the matter. Thank you everyone for watching. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.